Welcome to Business Talk Show on Celebration TV. My name is John Agbefwe. We've been talking a lot about businesses and stages or steps in setting up such businesses. Today we're having a CEO, First Dollar Resources Nigeria Limited, who will be telling us his success story and also sharing with us the steps in setting up a business. We'll go on a short break, but when we are back, I'll introduce our guest for today. Welcome back. It's still Business Talk Show on Celebration TV. Like I said, I'll be introducing our guest for today. He is the Managing Director of First Dollar Resources Nigeria Limited. He'll be sharing with us his success story and also educating us on the steps in starting up a business. He is Mr. Emmanuel Idonije. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. John, and good day to our viewers out there.
Sir, First Dollar Resources Nigeria Limited. What is it all about?
Yes, First Dollar Resources Nigeria Limited is a firm that's into FIS. FIS is Financial Inclusion Services.
Financial Inclusion
Services.
And
so what we offer is light banking services, you know, in place of the commercial banks.
Okay, that's very good. What came about this idea of First Dollar Resources Nigeria Limited?
Yes, you know, a lot of people want to do businesses and they do not look at why they want to do a business. To start a business, first of all, you must look at the value it's going to create.
Okay.
If your business does not create any value, there is no business. And that's bringing humanity to focus first.
Okay.
And so what we saw that gave us the mindset of this business was the problems people around areas where financial services are down or reduced.
Very limited.
They're very limited. And so you see people, you know, after working this money, they have to pass through a lot of stress to get the money to the bank.
Deposited.
If they want the money back, it's a bigger problem.
Okay.
You know, you see someone traveling from Igara to Auchi, for instance. Somebody leaving Auchi to Epoma. Sometimes to Benin for people who bank with Diamond Bank, Sterling Bank, FCNB. Yeah. And we were thinking of how we could reduce these issues to the barest minimum. And you know, the security situation in the country, people have to travel to go look for money. And when they are coming back, you know, Amabats, you know, get them down the way and probably rid them of this money, hard-earned money. And so we came to probably sit down and talk about what can we do? How do we start to reduce these issues?
How do we solve this problem?
How do we solve the problem? And that was where it started. It was just all about how to reduce the stress. People who were working, you know, genuinely, you know, how they can actually get their money at some point in time. They want to buy goods from Onitsha, from Lagos. How do they get this money to this person in Onitsha without having to travel down? And that was how the whole idea came about.
So there was a financial need you needed to solve?
Honestly, a financial hitch we needed to reduce to barest minimum.
That's good. Sir, many people say get capital before thinking about business, while others are of the opinion of getting this idea first before sourcing for capital. So what's your take on that?
Well, that's my own view on what you said is that the idea is most paramount. Did you get your capital before you start thinking of this? Not at all. Not at all. When I sat down, what I saw first was the need.
The need. So there must be a need.
There must be. Let me even tell you this, the testimony. When I saw the need, the banks were still on ground. There was a Keystone Bank, there was a Unity Bank that were in the town. But I saw the issue because, you know, most times the banks, their ATMs will not be working. Then even when they are working, you know, you can't make withdrawals more than a particular amount of money because probably they have low funds. And then when you go inside the banks to do transfer from Keystone Bank to First Bank, from Keystone Bank to UBA, to these big banks, Zenith Bank and all that are not in that environment, it takes you sometimes even a whole day. Unity Bank was not part of it. Talking about Keystone Bank now. And so I was already thinking of what do I do? How do we do this thing we need to do? Because then we're already aware that there were these e-services,
yes,
e-banking services, where you have to do transfers. So the plants were already on ground. I went around to see, did researches and all that, and discovered that you can even become a cashback agent for some banks. And so I picked First Bank, and I became a first money agent. So the plan was to just collect money from people. You have money in your account, you send across to people who they want to receive the money, and then you take the cash to the bank.
Okay.
But the security was a problem. If people are traveling from Igara to Auchi to go give them money in the banks, why would I not take the risk of carrying the money to Auchi? So the need of how that money will leave my hand also without going to Auchi came about the usage of the POS, the point of sale machine, to also give money to
service machine.
Thank you, to give money to those people who are lending the money. And so it became a point of you getting from those people who had enough, too much with them, that they needed to save, to give to those people who probably need the money to use. And so you can't give us money, you give us a little commission. You need money, you give us commission too. But however, those giving us money were paying lesser than people who needed the cash to use.
Wow, that's wonderful and interesting. How do you source for your capital? You already initiated the idea, you already drew up your plans, you already written your business structure. How did you now source for capital?
Yes. Funny enough, when this idea came, all efforts to get everything started was not working. In fact, I got an office, I paid, cleaned the office up, got some things I needed to get there. Of course, there was no money for generator or for good furniture, so I carried my table, my rubber table I brought from school. I put inside the office, and I would go there every morning, open, because the banks will not give me what I need to start. There were some things I needed to put in place before I could be set up. And so all the money I had that time was still on ground until my wedding came. Imagine about 2 months later, I had to go wed. And so I went for wedding in Mori, came back, and I was having just 19,100 in my account. My wife had about 1,000 in her account. That was the only capital we were left with. Probably if business had started before the wedding came, I probably would have saved some stuff. But that time, the wedding came, and so the money had to go. But that didn't deter my moving forward. I actually needed to start. So we started with what we had at hand.
So it was a personal savings, honestly, that you used in setting up.
What we had was what we used in starting. So the demand started coming, and got so kind, you know, we were able to manage what we had. But though, since it was an innovation, people were okay with some weaknesses we were having.
So how did you start? From 2 branches or from just that particular office? And because from my research, we discovered you've covered almost 4 or 5 areas now, like Igara, Akpoma, Auchi, Jetu. You have your point in each of these areas. Did you just start with establishing 3, 4, 5 branches, or you started very small?
Of course, we started very small. We're in our first office, a very small cubicle. You know, we're still putting on our suits that place. I mean, if you move around now, First Dollar is one branded firm that operates these FRS services that you wouldn't know, because when you get to that place, you think they are bankers. Because in our offices, almost everybody comes on suits. Wow. Even in our smaller offices. We don't have 4 or 5 offices. We have about 31 offices.
31?
Yes. There is no local government head in these parts of Edo North, Afema, where we do not have our offices. We started from that place in Igara. We left that place to, you know, a bigger place. Then from there, we started planting our offices. We started from Ibilo, we went to Ososo, we went to Ikweshi. From Ikweshi, we went to Afuze, Otuo, Igwebe, Ewu, Okpila, Iyamu. Then
so it means I don't really need to start big.
No.
I can start small and grow big.
Honestly, just start small. Like I said, in 3 months, we were just in one small cubicle, trying to see how we can strategize. Our first interview was in March. We started in December 2015. March 2016, we had our first interview. We got about 3 or 4 persons to join us. From there, those were the 3 persons that probably we're pushing to Ibilo, to Ososo, and to Ikweshi. And because of the drive, a lot of people, even monarchs, you know, royalties, were now coming. Please, we are aware that you guys are the ones doing this thing over here. How do you please come help us? I mean, the king, Saden, of also came, sent people to us to see how we can. That was how we went. After Ibilo, we went to Ososo. Because the distance from Igara to Ososo, as at now, is 500 naira for transport. So you can imagine you coming to make a withdrawal from Auchi. You have to first of all leave also to Igara. That means the whole day would have been gone just to make a withdrawal. Now, if you have 5,000 to save in your account, how do you go about that? If you now have, okay, fine, probably you now want to probably make a withdrawal of 10,000. That's what you need at that time. You'll be tempted to withdraw 100,000 you don't need. And the 10K you need would have been used. 90K you don't need would have been used for frivolities or for reasons that you may not be able to even explain. After
that's interesting. We are still with Mr. Emmanuel Idonije, the CEO of First Dollar Resources Nigeria Limited. We'll go on a short break quickly, and when we are back, discussion continue. Please stay with us. Welcome back. It's still Business Talk Show on Celebration TV. And in case you are just joining us, we are still discussing on the steps in setting up a business. And Mr. Emmanuel Idonije, the CEO of First Dollar Resources Nigeria Limited, has been doing a lot of justice to this particular question. Sir, quickly before we went on the short break, you talked on source of capital. Yeah. It was mainly on personal savings. And I want to ask, what are the factors or what are the perimeters? How did you determine your location?
Yes, you know, that's a very important part in any business that must grow.
Yeah.
You must be able to determine your market.
Yes.
Your market. That's why if you get a very good market now, you see a location and an area where they sell suits.
Yes.
You sell more and better when you also have a space in that place, because whoever wants to buy suit comes to that environment. You won't carry suits now to where they sell food stuff.
No.
That means whoever wants to buy suit would have been done buying suits from the environment where he or she knows he will get suit before. You know, every business has its own location, and that's where your market is.
So location is a major factor.
Very, very, very key factor when you're actually going to start a business. You should know who and who are you looking at.
Okay.
Who are you going to sell to? Not just selling to at some point, but continual demand of such a continuous demand of such, you know, your commodity. It's very, very paramount to know that you just keep on doing your business.
So mentioning all your locations now, what are the factors that you actually considered before stepping into Ososo, Igara, Auchi, Epoma, Afuze?
Yes, proximity. Proximity to the banks was just a key factor we're looking at. For example, I told you just now that Ososo was second, Ibilo was first. Now from Ibilo to Auchi, it's even further than from Igara to Auchi where we actually were. So Ibilo was a key point. Then Ososo was another very key point, because from Ososo to Auchi, it's just like Ibilo to Igara, from Ososo to Igara. So we're looking at areas that are very far away from banks, and we're lucky in the kind of environment we found ourselves, because in the whole of Afemai, it's as if Auchi, Isako West, is the only one serving about 4, 5, 6 local governments.
Yeah.
Talking about Akwedo, talking about Onwa East, Onwa West, Isako Central, Isako East. Yeah. So you see, so those areas we just find good. These are good areas where we can start. So when we came to Auchi, we just started going to Bode, we had Fuga, and these are areas that are dealing and are doing well till tomorrow. Because 2015, the banks stopped. These are their bricks and mortar, you know, innovations. So the banks are now ready to build anymore. You can't see any bank in the Fuga. You can't see UBA in Agenabode. They've stopped. And I think this plan of the CBN to see how they can bring people, agents like us, into the game, to see how they can reduce the issues a lot of banks faced. Right. Like First Bank now was in Agbede. They closed down because of security. They were in Sabogudara. They've closed down because of security. They can't go there anymore. And recently now you saw what happened at Igara when some guys came to actually close down again after, and that was the boost we had, 2015. To just about 2 months to us starting when the banks were raised down. And so when we started, it was like a very big boost. People were happy. Seriously, hey, an old man came one time to make withdrawals and was like, after we paid him, was like, no, did you say I got money just now without going to Auchi? Oh, God, collect your money, they go inside. He said, no, you don't understand. That me, he got money. I didn't enter vehicle, stay in the park for about 30 minutes, 1 hour. Yeah. I get to Auchi, go and stay in the queue. And then after that, no, you mean I got money? And so it was a whole lot of pleasure to us that we actually, stand up to the yearnings of the society when it comes to helping them reduce the issues they may be facing. Talking about them getting the money they've actually saved in the banks.
Wow, interesting. What are the challenges encountered for a beginner? A lot of us want to go into business, but we don't really look at the threats, our weaknesses. We just want to venture into a business and we expect everything to be flourishing. So can you tell us some of the challenges you encountered? At least you said you started small, from a very small cubicle, right? Yeah. And today God has been wonderful. So what are some of the challenges encountered, most especially for beginners?
Oh, yes, beginners out there must be aware that it's not easy at all to do business. If you don't want problems, you don't want issues, you don't want ups and downs, I think you probably should just graduate from school and go get a job, get a teaching job or get any kind of job. If you want to be an entrepreneur, a business person, you must be ready for the ups and downs of life. It wasn't easy. Like you said, there are opportunities, there are threats. Yeah. The biggest threats in life are for entrepreneurs. And that's why they are called risk takers. Yeah, risk takers. For people to just be comfortable. Yeah. And that's taking the risk of taking all the money you would have been carrying to Auchi or thereabouts. I said, no worry, bring them. I can take the risk. So people were scared. I told them no. But the best thing you can do as an entrepreneur, as a beginner, is to first of all be aware that there are going to be ups and downs. Everything that the Bible preached about was about entrepreneurs. That you're going to get a safe landing, but don't actually expect the hurdles in the air to be safe. But just be sure that one day, you're going to just get there, because today you can say, oh, why am I doing this? Why did I even start this? Okay, fine, I'm doing good. Oh, this one is here. Tomorrow you are saying, what's even wrong with me? Why am I doing this decision and all that? But one day you will now discover that all the ups and downs is just to model you and bring you to a safe standing. So you should be ready for the ups and downs. There are issues that will come. If you don't face challenges, we'll face issues, litigations from police, frauds, from fraudsters and all that. And so we've been able to stand. And why? Because first we were registered and we got a license to work as agents of testimony. So issues that will come in, they will usually come, just like you're a car dealer. You're a car dealer, certified car dealer. Somebody brings a car that was robbed at gunpoint to you. You don't even know. You have the license to sell cars. You buy the car and you shade. 3-4 days later, they come to you, oh God, this car was stolen. But how do you know? Those are issues as an entrepreneur you must be ready to actually face. But you won't say because that happened, you won't sell cars anymore. Yeah, that's true. Must be ready to still move forward if you must be successful. And so that is actually very, very much expected.
I was actually thinking about the risks involved. Collecting money from people and transporting it to probably a location where you can help them deposit this money. And I think that's one of the major risks. I was actually scared. Can I take money from Aganebo there, let's say 300-400 million or 2 million? The risk of transporting it to Auchi to deposit. Sometimes I just feel like not even going into such business, because what will happen? Unforeseen circumstance, something happens on the way, and like you said, entrepreneurs are risk takers. Yes, wow.
Yes. But in that kind of business, it's not like that. We've been so lucky. Grace has always covered us. Yeah. But for agents like us, you find out that probably these people, the children of these women, these men who are in the cities, push more money to them than them giving to us. So the demands in villages like Igara, Ibilo, also Agenegbo and all that are far, far lower, higher than the monies we get. So most times we end up still taking money to them. Okay. Because the people in Igara, imagine Akwedo has about 41 villages. How do you even give all of them that have? How do you even solve the issue of people who need money? People want to make all the do buildings, they send money to the people at home. Those people need to withdraw money to buy cement. So how much do you have to now cater for somebody who wants to build a house? So most times we end up still getting cash from out here and everywhere to see how we can get to those areas. Because whatever they give to us is never enough. Especially places like Okpela, where there are no banks, you have a lot of factories, you have a lot of companies. So that actually helped us. And because it's a cashless policy, most time you even end up with nothing.
Yeah,
you end up with nothing, because the people bringing money, the money is also in turn going out.
Giving back to
other
waiting.
Persons. Yeah, please, if you have money, call me. I want to withdraw money. And okay, please, let people come and deposit. So the people come to deposit and you call them, there's money now, so they come, they make withdrawals. And every day you close with almost 0 naira. You know, that's how. So people, probably these fraudsters and hoodlums, they've come to understand that you come at a time you can't even meet 100K in our hand. Yeah. Because as the money is coming in, other persons are pulling the money out.
Because demand.
The demand is very high.
Wow, it's been so interesting with Mr. Emmanuel Idonije. We'll go on a short break, and when we are back, discussion continues. Thank you. Yeah, welcome back. It's still Business Talk Show. Mr. Emmanuel, how do you promote your business?
Yes, promotion of business is very key. It's very key if your business must actually move forward. And so what we'll be doing all this while is to first of all try and see how you can be consistent in that business. You know, the problem we have in this part of the world is that a lot of people are not consistent. Yeah. You see somebody selling corn today, tomorrow you start selling clothes, next tomorrow oil. And so, okay, somebody already knows you sell corn here. He comes tomorrow to buy the corn, he meets oil. Yeah. He doesn't want to buy oil, and so he has to go. Tomorrow he comes to buy oil, you are selling a pear and some other stuff. So it becomes an issue. So one of the things you do, let people know you for what you do. You might just say it's not going up now. Once you already got the vision, that's why it's very good that the vision is very clear. Because if it's not clear, you won't be able to move fast. If you come from Benin and probably it's 7 or 8 o'clock in the night, if your lights are not clear, your headlights are not clear, you can't move fast. And so that's one of the issues a lot of people face. Blurred vision. When you see where you're going to, like I was telling people, I have about 26 agents who are in Benin, scattered around Edo State. I have some in Delta State and all that. I usually tell them, the POS business is not a business that will close down just like the communication business closed down. There were phone booths everywhere at the time. After a while, they were not operating anymore. There were people selling charge card and making a lot of money. After a while, that closed down because why? You can now buy a charge card from your phone. Yeah. I told them there's never a time that Mr. Gomudia will have 200 in his hand and not throw it to the air for somebody in the chat to catch it. To pick. So the can probably now send the goods down. Yeah. It's not just possible that your money in your account will now get to your hand through your phone. Yeah. You must come to me. That is true. So that's why we've actually built a platform for agents to flourish. We're about 26 now. And we have a dream of setting up 1,000 agents that will just become millionaires, because daily, and they should make not less than 700 daily. And that's a big one. That dream was actually for the Libyan returnees. We did the proposal to the government, and it's still on the way anyway. So because of the delay, we had to go into individual, build individual agents to see how they can play. And now it's actually growing. 26 now, just about 3 months ago. I will be building up for now, and the end of the year, we'll be having like 50. And so, but what I'm talking about is consistency in what you are doing. You see the vision is very clear, and you try to pursue it. Determination is another thing. And then the way you do what you do. It's not what you sell now, the way you sell what you sell. It matters a lot. People come, now, before we even became a microfinance, we operate a microfinance now. People saw us like a bank. They just come here and you see computers everywhere, you see people working, you see the people just working. You'll be wondering, is it POS people do here, or there's something else we do? And so, before we even became, so when we were moving from that POS to becoming a microfinance bank, microfinance cooperative rather, it wasn't difficult, because we already have all it took. We already have the character, we have the makeup and the way to which to act like the banks. So are you on social media? Do you promote your business on social media? Of course, yes. Even though the banks, the banks it's not supposed to be, in a way, is when you meet a bank, you just know it's a bank. You know what to do. That's why if you're moving on your road now, you see a banner, POS service available here. I'm not sure you want to be told what they do there. Yeah, you just know what they do here. It's POS. But yes, we still do social media marketing. That's a very good way now to actually bring more persons to know what to do, and how you go about your business. All right, I will not actually allow us to take more. I just quickly want you to give youths and businessmen, women out there, 1 or 2 advice on business. Yes, please. I want to tell you out there, the white-collar jobs are no more available. There is no need for you to just plan to leave school and you go sit down and be hoping to get a job. I was speaking yesterday to some student graduates from a church at Ekuma, Champions Church in Ekuma yesterday, and I told them that if they are serious with their life between now and when they will be leaving service, they can become millionaires. Instead of you going home to go and sit down and hoping that service will come by March or February, and you go and sit down home and hoping and thinking and planning for the service, you can actually become an entrepreneur. You start making 1,000 naira for a day, 2,000, 1,005, and that takes you to about 6 months. You carry the business to service. A lot of people don't know how to do things. We didn't get to know what this one we were serving, and so we actually just went like the usual students and we came back. During the service, you do the business. I can tell you that you can do a lot of stuff. What do you need, please? Get the vision. Sit down and think. There is purpose. Whatever happens today, the poverty will still suffer today because somebody failed in purpose. Somebody didn't do what he should do. And my dad didn't do what he should do. That's why I actually had to be running around looking for 10,000, 15,000 to do what I needed to do. So if you actually know the purpose, you know, for which you are called. I'm a finance person. If I leave now and start to go sell food, because why? Some people, GT sells food, and okay, this ouchie, food sells a lot here. But that may not just be my calling.
Yeah.
Finance is my ministry. So that's what I do. And that's where I have come to understand. In case you're not aware, I'm a medical physiologist. But when I came out, I saw that this is not, I just liked business. I like entrepreneurship. And so I told that way. And that is where we're coming. There was somebody who benched me in College of Medicine. Benched me. I was supposed to read medicine, but one or two ways his name was brought in. And I was asked to do something else. He's a medical doctor now, very well good. He's working in a place where he earns about 100,000 naira per month. I have about 89 staff.
You're an employer of labor.
89 staff that I pay over $1 million plus every month for salaries.
Wow.
And so you can do the comparison for the same period of years.
Yeah.
And so what you need, please, use out there is vision. Get this vision and drive towards making it very clear so that your speed can be swift. After which, get the focus. You need to be focused in whatever you're going to do. You know, look at it, how you go about it, and just try and see how you can converge your focus to what you need to do. Leave distractions, forget about them, and look straight, look forward, and see how you can move ahead. After which, be determined. Just look at what you're doing, and just, this is what I want to do, this is what I do, and I want to get it right. After which, please try and be disciplined. A lot of youths out there are not disciplined, and so that's why, you know, you see them waver in business. That's why you want to sit down and probably start procrastinating. You want to plan for a year, 2 years, 3 years before you can do business. I have a friend who started planning about business together. We discussed business. It will shock you that he's still planning now, because he will tell you, I want to get $1 million. I want to get. No, there are ways we can start business now. I am big. I'm this. Let me start with this. Let me start with. I told him no. I want to start, and so I started. But he needed to get $1 million. He needed to get 500,000 before he can start. And that is where we still are. And he's still planning. Probably the $1 million is not complete yet. Wow. So please, you get the vision. Please get focused. Get that enthusiasm. Be determined. And I beg you, please, be disciplined. And the sky will be not just a limit, but a certain place.
Wow. Thank you very much. We've heard a lot from Mr. Emmanuel Idonije, the CEO and Managing Director of First Dollar Resources Nigerian Limited. Thank you so much for finding out time to be with us in the studio.
Thank you.
Wow, this is how far we can go for today. It's still Business Talk Show on Celebration TV. We are hoping to bring more interesting and wonderful topics to your doorstep. I remain your host, Igbefuijan. Thanks for watching.